You may have seen the movie The 300, the tremendous physiques that those men had perfected since being childhood warriors. Alexander, who conquered the known world and short-lived, but went down in history. His empire was divided between his four generals. The prophecies in The King of the North, King of the South, found on page 1 of the America and Britain's Future Free Library, titled Middle East in Prophecy. It comes down to the age where Christ and the apostles existed and takes us all the way through to the fulfillment of the scriptures which refer to unless the time is cut short. In Matthew 24, no flesh would be saved alive, but God does save a remnant of every nation, and 1,000 years of peace begins then at Christ's return. And Daniel has a 2,500-year prophecy here, the longest prophecy in the Bible. And of course it concludes with the fact that God himself must take control of every nation, because it leads us right down to the final destruction of mankind by these nuclear weapons. If God does not exist, if God is not perfecting a plan here on earth, and he is perfecting a plan here on earth, he is reproducing himself in every last one of us. Throughout the ages, what is known as the Holy Land has changed hands over and over, repeatedly. And the British finally went in there, held the Jews back from occupying that land. After World War II, they actually halted Israelis coming in order to find a homeland. This was achieved anyway, and they are still actually ahead of schedule, because after World War III is stopped in its tracks, the British and American people will be transported back there. Every nation descended from the original 12 families is to be reunited there in that area. Our Jewish brothers will be there. Judah was one brother, one son. Ephraim and Manasseh were the two sons of Joseph, and all of the other nations in Western and Northwestern Europe will be there, and there will be a huge uniting of Israel in the Promised Land. The world confrontation will be sparked by the King of the South pushing at the King of the North. It is in prophecy, and it is coming. Who today could these references refer to as the King of the North and the King of the South? The King of the North is now the European Union Parliament in Strasbourg. These are the people now who rule all of Europe, and therefore that government becomes the King of the North. The King of the South may not be established yet. It could be a new Arab Union that comes together. After Europe established the euro, the Arab states intended to form a new Arab currency, which would have united the Arab world. And this could still come about. They could form a huge trade bloc using oil as their major weapon, and they could threaten to cut off the oil that's flowing to Europe and Japan and to China. We see right now as I speak, 2 massive oil tankers. Those were set alight apparently. This could be the beginning, which will take Europe into the Middle East to occupy, as the scripture says. And we know that the Arab world and the European world is clashing now over a religion. But finally, it will be brought down to a sheer confrontation of force. Europe will invade. All armies will be melted down. This is how God ends World War III before it ends in world devastation. And Christ will establish a government in Jerusalem that will last forever, and there will be world peace.